There's a guild of people in football that enrich the sport. They're coaches, they're teachers, they're strategic minds. They're servants of their clubs and of the game itself. They don't seek a high profile and they're rarely in the limelight, but they are the lifeblood of the sport, and every now and then one of these stories comes along that simply must be told, and Craig Jennings falls into that category. Craig, welcome to AFL 360.
Thanks for having me.
So you've been through the Bulldogs and Essendon and now an assistant coach at Melbourne, where you're the game analysis and education coordinator, which is all lovely. But it puts you in the guild of the Coaches Association, who had an idea of an initiative over a couple of years to get blokes who aren't very good at these things to treat their health seriously. What happened?
Yeah, the AFL-CA continually came out to the footy club and sent emails saying that all coaches should get a health check every year, and like most men, I was too busy. I didn't want to annoy the doctor. I was perfectly healthy, so I didn't want to waste anybody's time. And finally, this year in the middle of January, I thought what I'll do is I'll just book in on my birthday, and my birthday's Feb 28. So as part of that process, I went and saw the Melbourne Footy Club doctor and said, can I come in for a checkup on my birthday? And he noticed a little spot just above my ear, between my ear and temple, and he said he'd like to get me in a little bit earlier. And in my circumstance, I decided that there was too much going on, so I waited to my birthday and went in on my birthday, and I had a tumour taken out.
So what was it that he found?
Melanoma.
Yep.
And it's the most aggressive form of cancer, and at the time, I wasn't sure where that would lead.
And it was a complete shock to you?
Total shock. Perfectly healthy, and in subsequent conversations with friends, like, the shock to them has been that, well, I had dinner with you last week and you're perfectly healthy. So I was just going about my business and went in just for a normal check, thinking everything would be fine. And even on the way to the doctors, I was trying to think of a way to get out of it.
Yep.
Because I just couldn't be bothered with it.
If you had delayed it, even a matter of a couple of weeks, what would have happened?
The end result is everyone's a little bit different, but one of the doctors said you're a few weeks away from it being too late, and it was a pretty horrific process to go through as it was. So it's the same cancer that Jimmy Stein's had, and so that had a big effect through our footy club. And I guess we're really fortunate that we've got the AFL-CA behind us, motivating us to do it. But the reality is, for everybody out there, is you're important to somebody. So if it's not important to you to get checked up, I know having two young boys, I'm important to them. It's important that I get checked up.
So these, we'll pop a couple of images up which are graphic, so we'd say that. But what did you go through? What was done, and over what time frame? Yeah,
the last 2 to 3 months, I'd say 95% of the conversations I've had I can't remember, and yeah, it's just a really difficult time. And what I didn't want to do was make other people stress about it, so I didn't tell anyone for a few weeks, and in the end, because of the images you can see there, I had no choice but to tell the footy club, and I needed some time off work. And yeah, I probably withdrew in myself and wanted to deal with it in my own way. Everybody will be different, but
how scared were you?
I thought that I was done. Yeah, so you definitely make plans in your head for that. And I remember being in Beirut in 2005 and had a pretty scary experience, thinking my whole life's different now, I'll never be the same. And I got home and I was exactly the same, but everything for me is different now, just from this one check. And
have your mates taken heed?
Yeah, well, I hope so. I know at our footy club, everybody, every coach, everyone in the footy department is getting a check, so that's an initiative that we've got through Melbourne. I know the AFL-CA will keep encouraging all our coaches to get checked, but the reality is, if I was working in any other industry, I wouldn't be here today, because I just wouldn't have got checked. I would have made excuses not to get that medical checkup. 43.
Lucky bastard, aren't you?
Yeah. I feel very fortunate.
You've got a couple of little tackers that we showed a photo of before, after round one.
Where are they? Why didn't you bring them in?
9 and 7, were they?
They're old enough. Is it school holidays still?
I can't control them.
Oh, yeah?
I'd run amok. Yeah.
So, there they are. So, being a dad, I obviously sort of put this right into context, as well as the contact at the footy club is at home.
Yeah. I mean, they're your purpose, aren't they? And I look back and can't comprehend that I felt like I was too busy to go and get a checkup, and now I have to get checked up every 3 months in the short term, every 6 months from there, and I hope it's a waste of time. because I want to get checked up and get the all clear.
Ideally, there's people sitting at home right now saying, you know, I've got this little lump, it's been there for a little while. Or someone's saying, you've got that lump on your back, go and get it checked out. You might have saved someone's life tonight.
Well, the reality is people have done that for me. So there's a coach at Fremantle, Steve Lenny, and he said to me, you should get that checked out, and I fobbed it off. And then even the doctor said, come in and see me sooner rather than later, and I fobbed it off. And interestingly, once it came back, after I had some taken out and there was cancer there, I didn't even answer the doctor's call for 2 days. I was still that blasé about it, and then had to go in and ended up having 4 centimetres taken out. And that's really changed things for me. And have you been checked?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's...
Well, how thorough? I've had everything checked.
It's a very quick process, but I would just make it as part of a yearly checkup, because I know like people like Gary Lyon and Gorney speak so well about Jimmy Steins, but the message that I take from Jimmy Steins is, I think it was 2008, his wife said to him, there's a lump, you should get that checked out. And he was too busy, he felt healthy, didn't do anything about it. A friend said to get it checked, and then a doctor even gave him a referral, and he still didn't act until middle of 2009. So that's the story that resonates with me, because I was exactly the same, and if I was, you know, a week or two later, I wouldn't be here today.
Who would have thought your involvement with AFL coaching would be so profound? It's your passion, it's your love, and here you are because of it.
I wanted to talk to you about why is everyone saying that you're the guru? You're the man. I think that's fascinating. You haven't played the game, you could have been dead, and you might be the next senior coach.
I reckon.
Come back.
Yeah, there's another day for that. There's a really important conversation, and I know it's not in your nature to do it. I'm glad you did.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Good on you. Craig Jennings, an assistant
Thanks,
coach from the Melbourne Football Club, telling you what he's been through and what it can mean. Tomorrow night, league teams that look towards the weekend's footy. Dermot Brereton and Paul Roos lead that, and then Sam Mitchell joins us along with Brian Lake and Nick Del Santo. I wonder if Sam will be able to tell us whether he will take the field against his old mates.